It's well known that our DJ speakers can create sounds loud enough to cause permanent hearing damage. There's this myth that hearing loss only happens to seniors or the elderly, but actually only about 35% of those actually diagnosed with hearing loss are 65 years of age or older. Hearing loss can actually affect people of all ages, and unfortunately, it's becoming increasingly more common amongst young adults. Hearing impairment develops gradually, and it usually takes you a while before you even realize you're experiencing it. In fact, by the time you actually notice it, it's probably too late. Another myth is that only loud noises can cause hearing loss. However, prolonged exposure to even moderately loud noises can gradually damage your hearing. Now, our audiences are only exposed to these levels from time to time, but us, on the other hand, we're exposed to it at almost every gig while we're practicing at home. I don't know about you, but I kind of stopped to think about how much I'm actually exposed to loud music, and it kind of started to concern me. It was time to have some honest conversation with myself. I'm not only exposed to loud music while I'm gigging, but also while I'm in my car jamming out to, a mix I made to see if it passes the car test. Everybody knows about that car test. And also at home while I'm creating these mixes, you have headphones on and just you're vibing out, and you might not even be aware of how loud you're actually playing it. The problem is like I said, once your hearing is damaged, you're not getting that back. So I think the real takeaway here that I'm trying to communicate is that it's never too late to protect what you have left. This video is just to make people a little bit more aware of how fragile our hearing actually is. And DJs, it's one of the most important senses that we have. And once we start damaging our hearing, we keep turning things up a little louder, a little louder, a little louder, and then before you know it, we have over a decade, 2 decades worth of abuse on our ears, and then by the time we get to middle age, we now have damaged our kind of prized possession, which is our hearing. So I just wanted to share my experience of visiting a local audiologist, just to kind of give people a feel that it's not a big deal. It was actually a tremendous opportunity to connect with a professional and have some honest conversation about our hearing. Now, you don't have to go the route of in-ear monitors. You can even start making small changes now, simply just by turning things down. The thing with volume is if you start loud, after your ears have acclimated to that, there's like this fatigue phenomenon. We start out early in the evening and, we constantly keep turning it up a little bit. And then, other people walk into the room and they're like, oh my God, this is so loud. So then you turn it down and now it seems like it's so quiet because you're so used to the level being up here that even the small change seems like it's not loud enough. But to the person who hasn't been exposed to this for a long period of time, it seems obscenely loud to them. You also may experience listeners' fatigue when you're actually making your mixes. Remember how I was telling you how every DJ loves to do their sound check of their mix in the car to really see, how good of a job you did? So when you're making a mix and you listen to it later on and then you're saying to yourself, what was I thinking? This does not sound good. Things aren't blending as they should. The key signatures might be off. Things just sound harsh. Well, that's because your ears have reduced sensitivity over prolonged periods of time of excessive volume so that they protect themselves. So this obviously can affect your mix decisions based on what you think you're hearing versus what you really are hearing. So my suggestion is just to take the volume down a few notches. Take a break instead. Your mix is going to sound completely different or a lot better after your ears have rested for a bit, and resist the urge to just keep turning it louder. Your hearing or your hearing loss can actually impact what you're outputting to your floor. You're not hearing what your audience hears. There might be some frequencies that you're not picking up on that actually might be pretty painful to your audience. So this is why it's really important to properly, EQ your stuff, be mindful of what you're actually putting out there, and also understand, your actual hearing. Go get tested. Maybe you can figure out, what frequency losses you might have already, or maybe you have really great hearing. You don't know what you don't know. So again, I just hope this video encourages you to kind of look into some different options, whether that's, turning down your in-booth monitors, maybe spreading your speakers out a little bit so they're not sitting next to you like headphones, maybe just keeping things a little bit more reasonable volume, getting something like in-ear monitors like what I chose to do, or having a great headphone that can maybe block out some of that extra ambient noise. So with that, I hope you enjoy my visit to the audiologist. Enjoy the clip. Hey guys, I'm at an audiologist in Brookfield, Connecticut. We had a snow day today, and they just happened to have an opening, and they invited me down to come on in and get this done. And I just wanted to take just a quick second to talk to my DJ friends out there, or even musicians, on why this is so important. So it's no secret, I'm 37, approaching my 40s, and of course you start thinking about these things, the older you get, but I'm still young enough to do something before it becomes a problem, and that's kind of what this was about. So, I just asked if you'd be kind enough just to give a quick little description of kind of what in-ear monitors are, why they're important, why we should care, and maybe a little bit how the technology works.
Sure, and by the way, since it snowed, I wore my ski sweater. So anyway.
I love it. I'm in Jurassic Park over here. I'm ready for summer.
So Rachel, the important thing is to protect your hearing, right? But at the same time, you're trying to do your job. So how do you both efficiently do your job, hear what you're putting out to the world, and at the same time protect your hearing? Because when you're DJing and that music's blaring out at 110, 120 dB, that's not a good thing for anybody, all right?
127 or higher.
Well, okay. I was trying to be kind. But yeah, that's going to absolutely irreparably damage your hearing over time, okay? So the reason you're doing your monitor is because we make custom fit ear monitors, which therefore block the sound that you're generating, right? And then you can set the level of volume so you can still hear what you're putting out to the world, right? So you're getting the best of both worlds. That blasting sound is being blocked by the custom ear monitor. And at the same time, you can adjust your level at let's say 70 dB. You can hear what you're putting out, both the audio that's going out and your voice if you're actively speaking to the audience and so on. So you're protecting yourself, and you're still monitoring, right? That's what we're making custom monitors. You're monitoring your output.
How would this work with someone coming up and wanting a request? Because is it like having your ear plugged with like an earplug, or am I going to have to like pull it out to hear them?
Okay.
How would that work?
All right. This is why you protect your hearing in the first place. So yes, you don't get to the point where, because if you let your hearing be damaged to a degree, right now your ear monitors are jacked up to offset your hearing loss. And then when somebody walks up to you, you can't hear them, so you have to pull the monitor out. But if your hearing is good, what the brain and what happens with a great working ear and a great working brain is those loud sounds, because you're partially plugged, right? You've got an ear monitor in, so you're diminishing that loud sound.
Noise.
The loudest ambient noise comes down, and you're closer to what the person's volume is coming close to you, like I am right now. So you'll be able to do it. Now you wait till you have a 30, 40, 50 dB hearing loss. Well, now you're in trouble. Okay. Now you'd have to pull it out to hear what they're saying. Okay. So good to protect your hearing early and have that offset, loud versus softer but close, and I can still hear that person and their request in your case.
Awesome. All right. So with that, that's a little background. So we're going to get my ear molds done, where they just kind of squirt some, I don't know, squishy silicone squishy stuff in there to make them custom fit, so that I get the best sound quality and protection.
And we'll show you when we're done.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. So we create an ending point. That's fine. Get that in there. So put the cotton block in to create the ending point of the impression, right? And then when we squirt the goop in, it goes that far.
Cool. Doesn't hurt. Tickled a little bit, but it's all good.
People don't like stuff stuck in their ear. I get it.
So this is no offense, but I hope to not see you in 40 years.
No, I hope so too.
That's why I'm here. So it's a one and done.
Yes.
Really nice guy, but hope I don't see you in the future.
All right, let's do the other side. Yes, we're going to do a really full ear impression. In other words, we're going to get a long canal. We're going to get all through the entire ear, because when the company makes the monitor, you don't want to leave any parts out. They can always reduce what I give them, but they can't add to the impression.
So if I'm talking really loud, let me know, because
Yeah, because you
I
can't hear
can't
yourself.
really hear all that
Yeah.
good right now.
Well, that gives you an idea. See, that gives you an idea of, say, 40 dB loss maybe overall. Okay, so about a 40% loss. That, it makes a huge difference.
Wow.
And if I turned my back and walked away from you, you wouldn't hear a thing.
Oh, that feels so cool.
Whole thing. There we go. That's number one. I'm sorry. There we go. All right. Get this whole thing. There we go. All right. Give it 2 minutes and we'll pull them out.
Cool. I still heard that, but barely.
Now, okay. See, there we go. You see what happened there? So even though you're plugged up, because your hearing is good to begin with, you can still understand me. If your hearing wasn't good, so that mimics your DJing. You've got your monitors in. That's out at 120 plus dB. Am I going to hear the person? You will.
But if we had loud music playing right now, could I still
Yeah,
hear
you still, yep, you would, because what's plugging the impression material, right, is plugging up your ears. But what it's doing is creating the reduction of the loudest sound in the room first, not the quieter sound. That's why it works.
Cool.
Okay.
So this is a good sign that I don't have that much
I
hearing
knew I
loss.
would say so. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, that's
absolutely
good.
fair.
It's all about prevention, folks.
It's good that you're honest, that you say, hey, I was 16 and I started with loud music and subwoofers in the car and the whole deal. So, that carried through your 20s into your professional relationship now with DJing and so on. It could still show up earlier. You could have a high frequency loss in your late 40s, early 50s. And as a female, that's early. But it's the sound, it's the exposure to noise.
Right.
All right. But never too late to protect what you have. See, that's why we get fooled. So we go to a concert and it blows our head off and we come out, a little ringing in your ears, or you feel stuffy, right? It feels like there's cotton in your ears. And then the next day it's gone. You're like, hey, I'm okay. No, it's kind of hiding in the background and it will manifest itself down the road.
Got it.
But that's why we always think we got away with it, because it goes away. And it doesn't really.
Doesn't. Okay.
So there's your, let's see, that's your right ear. There's the right ear.
There we go.
Okay.
Cool. Earwax is healthy. Don't judge.
Yeah, by the way, yes, no judgment.
Earwax is healthy. And this doesn't hurt at all. It actually feels kind of cool. Wow, that's awesome. There we go. So we ship these off?
Yep, and they'll use these as the impressions for your custom monitors.
Awesome, which is Ultimate Ears. That is what I'm going with.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Have
Nice
you heard
stuff.
of that brand?
Yeah, it's neat stuff. It really is.
Yeah, so very cool. All right, that's it. That's my visit at the audiologist, folks. Make your appointment today. And if you're local in Connecticut, this is the place. So qualityhearing.net. I should know my web address. Yeah. We're also on Facebook, too, so if you want to find us. I'll tag you guys.
All right.
All right, peace out, everybody. Super nice people. Like, this was unbelievable. I am so grateful and happy for these, and I'm going to get these sent out, and I'm going to have my custom Ultimate Ears very, very soon.